So it is good that we are here. We are doing the most appropriate thing on Halloween, on All Hallows Eve. You got to make sure we're careful on the roads, everybody out there, especially the fog, kind of added to the spookiness. And we are doing what the Lord has asked us to do. Is honor his beloved sons and daughters who at a certain point in their life were holy. And they had a certain holiness there, a desire, a love for God that caused them to be saints in a special way. So those canonized, but also those who don't know or not canonized, but they are in heaven. We're going to know for sure that someone is in heaven when they are made a saint, blessed as saint. But other than that, we are called to pray for them, right? And so that's what we'll do in All Souls. But today we honor the saints. And we all have our favorite saints, right? So if you have your favorite saints growing up, favorite saints throughout the years, favorite saints because of things that have happened in your life that you've learned about them. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it's not we who picked them, it's they who picked us to help us on our journey. So it's good for us to contemplate who are our favorite saints. Who are those saints that we have had a devotion to, that we have venerated over the years? That their story resonated with us for whatever reason. Pray about that during the Mass. Think about those saints. For me, there's numerous. Once I start mentioning saints, I'll feel bad if I leave out some, but I'm just going to mention a couple. My favorite saint, really, of course, Mary is the Queen of Saints, right? So, on a certain sense, you can say yes, she's a saint, but she's a saint par excellence, and so it's obvious with Mary. But then Saint Joseph. But after that, it would be Saint Therese for me in terms of favorite saint. So her statue is there in the corner of the chapel. And we only have that statue because there was a church that will remain unnamed, not St. Mary's, but in the area that was in a closet, and it wasn't being used at all. So they said, "Hey, do you want this statue of Saint Therese?" I said, "Yes." And so that's why we have Saint Therese. She really helped me in seminary. And before that, I read her Story of a Soul there. My dad conveniently put it around the house, and so I started to read it. Had an impact on me. But not till seminary that I read another book by Bishop Ahern called The Story of a Love. And it was letters between her and a seminarian, and she was encouraging him, and he had to be encouraged. And just in the seminary that time, it was what I needed. And so Therese really helped me. So I've always said, okay, you're my favorite saint, but I have some others. So then after Saint Therese, well, okay, I'm not going to go in order, but I would say what comes to my mind is Saint Gianna, of course. And why devotion to her? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a couple different reasons. Italian. My mom's Italian. And there was a shrine dedicated to her in Philadelphia. And so I started to find out about her really in seminary. I was very much in the pro-life cause in college, and I found out that she was like unofficial patron of pro-life. And her kids were still alive. Her husband was still alive when I was finding out about her. We had home videos of her. It's like, this is a saint that, because a lot of times with saints, we just, see a statue and we don't have a connection with them. Like, even St. Patrick, if you notice, we haven't had the St. Patrick statue out there for a while. And I only hear one complaint for the past couple of years. I think we haven't had the St. Patrick statue there And we show, because the St. Patrick statue that we have scares the kids. And, but it's really not beautiful. It's not, I mean, God bless the intention. But anyway, we're in the midst of getting a real nice St. Patrick statue. And some parishioners have given money for that. And so soon to come, we started to make a decision on that. Brother Alex has helped me with that. We're going to have a real nice St. Patrick statue, so pray for that. But we have these statues of the saints from the past, and it's wonderful, but I really feel a connection with the saints that we have pictures of, have home videos of. So that's why St. Gianna and St. Faustina really was connecting with me, and then with Divine Mercy, and then the Marians being charged of promoting Divine Mercy, and then having that connection to St. Faustina. It's really been important for me in reading her diary. If you get a chance, read her diary. It's not a total easy read because it's, she goes back and forth on different days, and so it's not like a flowing thing, but it's real deep, so much so that just like Therese is a doctor of the church, we hope that St. Faustina will be a doctor of the church one day. St. John Paul II, huge impact for me on how to be a priest, how to be a strong man of God. Huge was St. John Paul II. Like, that's who I want to be like in terms of a priest, in terms of having that love of the Lord, love of his people, but divine mercy, holding out for what is true in a church, but also engaging people where they're at, facing persecution, right? As we hear in the Beatitudes, blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are those who are persecuted. And he was all that, especially with the stuff that he went through. Yeah, I can go on and on. St. Matthew, named after. Who are we named after? Our first name, our middle name, our confirmation name. You know, all that is important for us because that is our history. That is who we have a special relationship with in our lives. Those who have chosen us, our brothers and sisters who have chosen us to help us on our journey, because this journey can be tough at times. But they will help us on this journey. And all the saints, sometimes we think, well, my struggles, you know, the saints didn't go through that. They were like great people. Well, a lot of the saints weren't great people at certain points. They were doing a lot of stuff. St. Mary Magdalene, right? And, but they turned to the Lord. And they had great love of the Lord. And Lord had great love for them. Right? What did we hear this past Sunday? The Lord has come to seek and to save the lost. That's all of us. He has sent his sons and daughters, the saints, to go on their rescue mission. Keep on going on their rescue mission for us. And that's why we are here. Because we have said yes to that invitation to take their hand of the saints and to be rescued from our sin, to be rescued from this world, to live in this world but not of it, to make sure that we are like those that we heard in the first reading, the saints in heaven, the martyrs, the witnesses, those who, that's why we wear white, the alb, the deacon, and the priest wear white because of this part in the scriptures of Revelation, dressed in white, symbolizing purity, goodness there, washed by the blood of the Lamb, by the blood of the Lamb that's been pierced, his heart pierced for us, the Lamb that was sacrificed for you and for me. And sometimes we will have to go, well, we all have to go through that sacrifice. Some of us publicly, like the martyrs, but most of us not publicly, but in our hearts. Those sufferings that only Jesus can see and only the saints can see. Let's thank the Lord for our brothers and sisters in Christ who persevered to the end. They went through many obstacles and showed us how to persevere. Let's take their hand. Let's take their hand. Let's encourage our sons and our daughters, our grandkids, our brothers and our sisters, our neighbors to take their hand as well. A lot of times it's an example of a story or a story of a saint that will bring someone more interested in the Lord because of their story that's been similar to theirs, their struggle. May we continue the struggle, but not by ourselves. Let's walk with our brothers and sisters who we have the relics of and those brothers and sisters who are with us now, interceding for us. And they are present in a special way in the Mass. They're most present in the Mass and in the Eucharist. May we take their hand now, and may they lead us to our destination of heaven.